Welcome to Read the Book First. This week we are discussing the 1972 novel The Stepford Wives by Ira Levin. Here to help me discuss it is Marissa.
Hi.
Oh, that is
right.
a little something to it.
A little jazzy jazz.
Before we dive in, if you haven't heard or seen by all my posts, I have a Patreon now, which is very exciting. So if you want to support the podcast and help me continue it and also like improve quality eventually of it, which was the goal with the Patreon, go check it out. Link below. We just did a little mini episode where we played Kiss, Marry, Kill. Censoring myself. Our conversations are uncensored on the Patreon, so go check that out.
That's right.
This book is super short, which I loved. It's super tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny.
It's a tiny little guy.
It's only 123 pages.
Yeah, it took me longer than I expected to read.
It was hard to read.
It was hard to read.
The last, like section 2.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never heard of the Stepford Wives,
that's wild.
That'd be wild.
That's crazy.
Before reading this, I knew the colloquial like zeitgeist of it, meaning a brainwashed housewife.
Yeah, denigrating the like act of being a housewife or being a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
This is not what that book is.
No, it's not. But that's like colloquially we talk about that way. But this is a like sci-fi satirical.
I would argue it goes
satire.
I think it is satire. It just goes like into horror.
Yes, no, it's definitely sci-fi horror.
Yeah,
like with
not like horror how we think of it, like scary ghosties, but like existential horror. Of
which he wrote most of his other stuff are also horror based.
He also wrote Rosemary's Baby,
which I've never seen.
Me neither, but I know the premise of it.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to summarize this book without spoiling it, so I think I'm just not going to do that. So spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
But
is that the pod? What?
Well, yes, but like I sometimes like to do a spoiler-free little sentence summary. But you can't do a sentence summary without spoiling the whole book because it's so short.
Yeah, and it's a very straightforward story in a lot of ways, but that almost lends to its ultimate horror. Is there's not a lot of extra details in it. Yeah, definitely. Our main character is Joanna. She is married to Walter, and she has 2 kids, Peter and Kim. And they're moving from the city, which we're assuming is New York City, to Stepford, Connecticut, which is like an idyllic, like suburban. Stepford, Connecticut.
That's what I meant.
That's why it's called
Stepford Wives. I just read it wrong in my head.
It's by Stanford, though. I think they say
Yeah.
Or like it's maybe not by Stanford, but it's like meant to be this kind of like close enough to the city that you can like go in and have a night out, but it's still hella suburbs.
Very suburbs.
Very rich.
Very
I looked up
white.
how much their house, because they mentioned the cost of their house. In 1972, it was $52,500. That house would go for $1.5 million.
Yikes.
Maybe even more today, depending on condition.
Yeah.
And depending on like what style it is in and stuff. Crazy.
Super rich.
So glad the minimum wage hasn't been raised. What's going on?
Yes. So we have Joanna, what I liked about this book is that like there's no exposition. We're just right into it. Like they've moved and we kind of learn things as we go. I really liked the story, the plot pace. I also liked the writing style was good because I think it does play into the horror aspects where it's very bland.
Yeah.
And then as you go, it gets more detailed and you're like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. There's whole paragraphs where it's like, here's what they did this week.
Yeah.
But then it gets the like sandwiching paragraphs are like, hey, here's this fucking horrible thing.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, great. Yeah, very like juxtaposing the mundane with this like wacky stuff that's happening.
Yeah, so we meet Joanna as she is meeting the welcome wagon lady right at the beginning. And this, at first, like Joanna is kind of shocked by the like overbearingness of this lady. Like the lady's asking a lot of questions, asking how many kids, where her husband works, how much, like very invasive questions. And maybe it's because we're reading this in 2025 that I'm like, it almost feels like they're trying to set up this lady as the villain, or like the other women as the opposition to Joanna, which like they are in opposition, but they're not like the like antagonistic force. You know what I mean? But it's kind of,
yeah. I mean, that's the point of the book, is that the women are antagonists to one another when actually the antagonist is
not them.
Yeah.
But
it's very like Wizard of Oz in that way.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
Definitely.
It's like, no, look over here. Yeah.
It's very that, especially at the beginning, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But also in my head, I was like, am I getting tricked?
Well, you are, right? Yeah. And that's like, it's so true. It's like women on women crime is still so much like, it's still such a prevalent like mindset. Yeah. It's like, whoa, no, who's the actual villain in this case? Not these women who, you know, I guess we haven't talked. They're like robotic housewife,
like 50s
mindless,
housewife,
like
in the 70s.
Oh, I can't hang out. I have to do housework.
I have to iron my husband's
shirts.
They're
like waxing the floors of their house. Something I didn't know was a thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like at school with those cool things that I always want to ride.
The Zambonis?
Yeah, no, not the Zambonis.
They're essentially Zambonis.
They are Zambonis, you're right.
I love a Zamboni.
But yeah, it's the that's what the women are like, except for a very small number, like 3, Joanna and Bobby and Charmaine at the beginning of the book.
Yeah. And Joanna's reaction to this, like, welcome, like, wagon lady, in the first like interaction with one of the people who already live here, is like she tells, or she thinks / is it written in first point? No, it's third, right?
Yeah, it's third. It's all third.
But we find like her immediate reaction is like,
and it's all,
but wasn't when the woman's rights.
But it's
movement.
it's not omniscient though.
No.
It's third. What is that? Limited? I don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know everything. We know what Joanna knows, basically.
I should know this. This is literally an SOL I teach my kids in the fall.
I'm not an English major.
But her like reaction is like, well, I was in the women's movement and so is my husband, so we're not like them. Immediately, she's like, I'm not like them. I'm not like them.
Yeah, I made a note. Like, good guy husband? I said, good guy husband? No way. He freaking collects early American legal documents.
What a boring hobby.
Villain.
What a boring hobby. Like, if your job involves legal documents, fine.
Yeah. Or if you're a historian.
Yes, but
that's
fun,
your hobby? How is that a hobby? Okay, you know what? Do whatever you want.
If it is your listener, if this is your hobby, please tell us why you like it.
And why are you a villain? Please answer those 2 questions down in the comments. Thank you so much.
They're learning about the small town, and her husband learns that there is a men's club or men's association.
Yeah,
sorry,
but there's no other clubs.
There's no other clubs.
There's no women-centered clubs. There's
not even an HOA.
Not an HOA. There's not a Legion or
like
a
Lions,
Elks or
Rotary,
Rotary, any of those clubs.
Yeah.
It's just this one, and only men are allowed.
Mm-hmm. And her husband is invited by one of the other husbands, and he Joanna's like, you shouldn't join, like that's sexist, like something that's weird. And he's like, but what if I can infiltrate from within?
Yeah.
Okay, off page, you're gonna infiltrate. I'm sure that's gonna go great for the plot, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like you can only change things from the inside. And then there's this line where she's like, what? You can absolutely change organizations from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I made a note here, like, oh, so we know that allowing women in closed doors clubs is exclusionary and archaic, but we also do nothing to change it because it benefits us.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, this is why men, and it's always just men and like weird red-pilled conservative women, bitch about the Girl Scouts.
Mm-hmm. This book, the way that it's written is just so interesting, because I know we kind of already talked about it, but like when they're talking about this, which it's towards the beginning, like the first 10 pages, you're like, okay, this is going to be the big conflict, like we know this, but it's so like it's barely talked about, and instead we like hear about them and their like marriage and how it slowly starts getting less like intimate as they go, and she, you know, like, so that becomes a bigger thing, and her dealing with the kids, but also she's a photographer,
right? She's a very talented, like she could probably be independent, like she doesn't need her husband,
yeah
kind of thing. So like And that is a common theme we'll see as she begins to learn more about this town, that a lot of the women at one point were very independent and did have a lot of talent. Yeah. Or they had their own skills, which is like, yeah.
Yeah. Joanna meets Bobby, who is one of the other women who are not like obsessively cleaning their houses. And Bobby is very outspoken, and like even more so than Joanna is. Joanna is like
messy. Yeah. She's like the polar
her house is always messy. Yeah.
Of these Stepford Wives.
Her kids are running around everywhere. Yeah. And together they're like, yeah, we're gonna start a women's liberation association or movement here.
Like a chapter of the
whatever it was, second wave feminism, 70s stuff, burn bras kind of situation.
Betty Friedan, the feminine mystique situation.
Yes. And then they go around to all the different wives around the neighborhood, and none of them are interested.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, I have no time. There's so much work to do. And they're like active. Every time she goes over to a housewives, they're like doing housework.
Yes.
Like every time she goes over to a Stepford wife house, they're doing housework, and they're like, oh, can you like sit in the bedroom with me while I fold clothes? Can you, all this stuff. It's like, oh my God.
And they only ask questions about the kids and the husband's
And the way
work.
they speak is like so, and we'll find out a little about this later, but it's very like, oh dear, oh shoot, like it's
it's very
weird.
like Leave It to Beaver kind of.
Oh, I couldn't find the time like that. Yeah, it's very, very
Then at one time, Walter like brings over 5 dudes from the men's club and asks Joanna to act as a waitress, or she's like, oh, you want me to be a waitress? And he's like, kind of.
Yeah, but maybe you can also sit in so they can see that women are smart. I'm like, these fuckers know. Like, and we find out later that they definitely know because their wives at one point were also like capable and smart and wise and and they're all gross and weird.
Yes, they're all, and they all have jobs that. Besides like 2, they all have jobs in factories or in business. Like they're
like high level. Like we're talking like
CEOs, like CFOs.
Like doing like optics companies or like microchips, or like one of them built the animatronic presidents at Disneyland. And he's the creepiest of course because he's interested in animatronics.
And so they're all like that, but there is one guy who draws. One guy who's an artist he's
like a famous illustrator.
Yeah, and she knows his work, and the drawings all happen to have like very voluptuous
I'm guessing
women.
They're like pinup girls or something.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah. But at one point they have like a conversation about art and stuff in New York, and she's like, he seems almost normal. I was like,
yeah,
psych.
But he's like drawing her the whole time
without her consent, which is a big thing in this book. And she notices it too. She's like, why are you
stop. And then he's like, no. And then at the end, she's like, oh my God, how nice. And the whole time I was just like, ew.
No.
Don't draw me ever.
Charmaine. So Bobby and Joanne meet Charmaine, who is rich, doesn't do any housework, and hates her husband.
Has a maid. Her husband's a little freaky creep.
Yep.
Who like made a gimp suit for her, and she's like, "What? She's like, no."
Yeah.
And she loves to play tennis.
Yes.
Like that's her. Her and Joanna play tennis together, and Charmaine's so excited because none of the other Stepford wives.
They're too busy.
They're too busy with their buffing of floors and writing the wax Zamboni and shit. I don't know. Folding their children's laundry.
Yeah.
So it's just,
Yeah. And so they have like this, just the 3 of them. But then Joanna finds out through an old magazine about the Women's League that had 50 plus members. And this was 7 years ago.
Yeah. So there used to be a women's organization basically in the town.
In the town.
And the names mentioned in it are people who are wives that are now what we're going to be calling Stepford Wives, which are like the brainwashed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they were like the leaders, and they had like Betty Friedan come and talk to them, and they were like cheering her on. And then mysteriously
it stopped.
It stopped, right? Like close to that. Because like the wives just kept resigning and they lost a ton of membership, like 50 plus people left the almost like something's happening in this town.
She asks the main lady who started the club, or the lady who was the last president of the club when it closed, and the lady just like keeps ignoring it and is like frazzled the whole time. So like Joanna is like,
I didn't read her as being frazzled. She was like, oh, like Joanna, it's her next door neighbor, Carol.
Yeah.
She's like, why didn't you friggin' tell me? And Carol's like, oh, that was so long ago. Like,
I read it as frazzled. I don't know.
I feel like they don't get frazzled is the thing.
Yeah.
They're just like, no, I just don't do that anymore. It wasn't a good way to spend my time.
Yeah.
There's so much housework to do.
Yeah.
Where would I find the time? These are the ways they talk in this book. It's horrifying.
But Joanna, so she's a photographer. She's not a journalist, but she has that like bug in her. And so she decides one night to go take pictures.
But she's not doing it. She's just doing it to take pictures.
She's just taking pictures. She's doing it to get away from her husband.
Stuff.
Because she's also trying to she slowly notices that
observer.
she needs to get out of the house, and she's like, "You're gonna stay home one night from the club, so I can go do art."
Yeah, and she like sells her pictures to
New York magazines,
like a company. Yeah, so she's trying to get like these beautiful photos, these night exposure photos of this. What is a beautiful town, probably like this colonial town. Yeah.
And then she gets close to the men's club and she knows the lights are on, but also down the street is like a cop car, and he comes over, and she's like, while she's in the middle of trying to like get a picture of inside the men's club, and the cop, she realizes after that the cop like distracts her enough that they close all the blinds of the men's house.
I don't even think she was trying to get a picture of the inside. She was just taking it of the facade.
Yeah.
And the windows happen to be open, and so the cop distracts her by asking about her camera and all this.
Yeah.
And she's like, but she's smart, so she clocks it. She's like, oh, weird.
Yeah.
That as soon as this fucking cop came and talked to me.
It reminds me of, I've been getting a lot of these TikToks on my TikTok feed of people, so one of the Scientology buildings in LA, there's certain people, whenever someone with a camera out walks by, they shut the blinds and close the doors automatically. And there's some people who make TikToks where they live or work nearby, and they know the people's names of the secretary who's stuck there and stuff, and so they'll like come across the street and they'll be like, I'm gonna pretend her name is Susie. What's up, Susie? Oh, hey, Susie girl. And then Susie just like pushes a button, the door just closes and the blinds. But it was like very much that vibe.
Yeah.
I keep getting fed those pictures. Or like they come by and they're like, this is a cult, don't go in there. And the people are like, oh.
Yeah, it's very insular, same vibes, right? It's definitely like, don't look here. And another thing she notices is like a smell, like a medicinal smell in the air as she's getting closer to the men's whatever clubhouse
association.
Yeah.
For abbreviation for my notes, I wrote men's ass every time for men's association. Because I was going to write that out every time.
Absolutely. Yeah, so she notices the smell, and then the cop obviously distracts her.
In time,
just in time, and then until they could close the...
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder what's going on at that creepy men's association.
Her and Walter host a dinner party, and she learns that the men's association is only 6 to 7 years old. So this is where she's like putting the dots together.
Yeah.
She's like, the closing of the women's league and this starting are connected.
Yeah, they're they're correlated at the very least.
Yeah. Also, they kept using the word Hausfrau all the time. Frau.
Yeah,
Hausfrau.
German.
I hate saying that in my face.
Frau is kind of like
Frau. It's Fraulein, fine.
I think they're both kind of like out of fashion a little bit. Yeah, old fashioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't alive in 1972, so I don't know. Was that normal? I don't know.
It's in this book all the time.
Yeah, it is in this book all the time.
Bobby has a conspiracy that she thinks there's chemicals in the water that are changing.
Because first they find out about
the what's the town? Right? In Texas?
Oh, it's like El Paso or something. There's lithium in the water, which is, lithium is a commonly used psychiatric drug.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. But yeah. So, and it like basically dulls the people in this town. And Bobby's like, that's what's happening here, or something crazy is happening here. That's like, how else can we explain that? Like, every single wife is uniform.
Yeah.
And
Uniform
and also, why are their boobs so big? All of them.
Yep. And no agency, and they always have their makeup and hair done, but they're also always cleaning. How are they not getting their clothes dirty? You know,
Right,
like
exactly.
all these things. And then her and Bobby kind of like start freaking out, and they both decide that they're going to move ASAP. You know, and Joanna mentions this to Walter.
Well, Joanna thinks she makes fun of Bobby at first. She's like, "Oh yeah,
at first,
I'm sure."
Yeah,
and then Charmaine.
Oh yes,
and then Charmaine. Joanna, like on a Friday, is supposed to hang out with Charmaine, and Charmaine calls and she can't do it because her husband wants her to have a second honeymoon or like get connected or whatever.
Yeah.
This would become important. So they say, okay, no worries. Like we'll do Tuesday next week to play tennis unless something comes up. And if something comes up, I'll call you. If nothing comes up, I'll just show up on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Joanna shows up on Tuesday and Charmaine has been Stepfordized.
Yeah.
And is now digging up her tennis court, which is a clay tennis court, very expensive.
Yes.
And it's something she excelled at.
Yeah.
And the reason they're tearing it up is so that her husband can make a putting green. Because, quote, my husband doesn't play tennis, he plays golf, which I'll just say I think one has more skill than the other, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's like, this is...
And it...
kind of the first time we see kind of what changes other women might have gone through because we know Charmaine and like we know how good she was at tennis because Joanna's good at tennis, but she's way worse than
And she
Charmaine.
didn't give a shit about what food they were eating or when dinner was or
and she was
starching
ace queen.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. And then or starching her husband's clothes.
Yeah, no.
Like, and then suddenly she's like talking about how much she loves him.
Yeah. In fact, they had like a maid.
Yeah.
And
They
then
fire
she
the maid.
Fires the maid because the maid isn't doing a good job. And it's like, oh, on the surface it looks nice, but as soon as you get in the corners, it's dirty. It's like, oh no, but nobody's looking in the corners. You know what I'm saying?
I hope no one's looking at the corners of this house. I'll tell you that.
Nope.
Yeah, and
I'm too busy having interests.
When Joanna's like, I want to move, Walter's like, okay, we can at the end of the school year because of the kids, which like at first seemed like a fair
both Bobby
answer.
And Walter or Bobby's husband and Walter say the same thing, like we don't want to disrupt the kids, and then Bobby's like, fuck that, the kids will be fine.
Bobby's like I'm going house hunting. And so
they do.
And she joins Joanna
in like the town over, so this isn't happening in the next town.
And this is around when one of the dudes, his name's Claude, I don't remember what his last name was, but he asked Joanna. He asked Joanna if she could take a few weeks to read certain words into a recording device for some like technological project.
Literally, they explain it in the book. He's like, oh, it'll help. We can like connect it to where people live. It makes no damn sense to me. I read it 3 times, seeing if I could understand. No, these men have not done their due diligence. And she's like, oh yeah, no problem. Let me tell you right now. Somebody asked me to read random words. I'm not doing it. You better pay me. That's an audiobook narrator, and that is money. Money, please.
Yeah. And they're just like random words. And when
I was like, literally, when she does, they do a clip of her like talking, temptation. And I'm like, I was like flipping back through. I'm like, what do the housewives say? What words do they say? Do they only have like, they only have
certain amount of
words that they use. Like I said, there's a very like distinct way they speak. Like, oh geez, I don't have the time for that. Or And
and like, it's just so creepy that she doesn't even second guess why she's doing it. And that's creepy.
This is like of the time, I feel like. Yeah, it's very much like none of this stuff would be able.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like a lot less like know your neighbors these days, and I'm fine with that.
I say I have interacted with my neighbors over there twice. A new neighbors come in. It's the first Black family in the neighborhood, and Joanne meets Ruth Ann and their kids. And one of the kids is like similar age to one of hers, and so like they hang out quite a bit. In the early days, Ruth Ann is still like kind of like hesitant to hang out with Joanna and all of them, but the kids like hang out.
So Ruth Ann is a children's book writer and
her kids,
illustrator.
And
so
Joanne's kids loves those books.
Right. Yeah. So she's yet again a woman with an exceptional talent that would make her independent, and that would, quote unquote, take her away from the home.
Yes. Yeah. And this is when Joanne babysits Bobby's son for the weekend, so Bobby and her husband can go on a
second honeymoon alone.
And Bobby's like hoping to go look at houses, but that doesn't happen.
Remember what happened to Charmaine, everyone? Her husband wanted alone time.
Yeah. And so they come and pick the kid up, and Bobby's like wearing, like, her hair's done and she's wearing makeup. And Bobby doesn't often do that.
Yeah, very un-Bobby.
Yeah.
And she's not like loudmouth, sassy McGee like she normally is.
Yeah.
But they don't really clock it. Like, I think it's like late and like, everybody's
and the kid's kind of rambunctious anyway. So she's like, yes, please take your kid.
Yeah.
He's a lot. And then a couple days later, she calls Bobby, and Bobby's like, oh, I'm busy ironing right now. And Joanna's like, what? Who is this? And then when she visits, the house is spotless.
Right. And Bobby is a messy gal.
Yeah, and she's in nice clothes, and
her hair's done, her makeup's done.
They decided not
and
to.
And her figure,
yes,
she's like girdled to.
Yes, and yeah. So, and Joanna, this is where Joanna's freaked out.
Yeah, Joanna is like, I need to fucking get out of here. We are moving this instant.
Yeah, once is weird. Charmaine was kind of a weird situation, anyways.
Yeah,
but Bobby
is
and
you have to like think. All of her friends are dwindling. She basically had Charmaine and Bobby at the beginning. Then Charmaine was Stepfordized.
Yep.
And so it was just Bobby.
Yeah.
And then Bobby was Stepfordized. And kind of she has Ruth Ann, but they're not really friends because Ruth Ann is so busy writing her book and being talented.
Yeah.
So it's like she's fucking lonely. She only hangs out with kids all day. It's a nightmare.
Yep.
Her husband is at like the men's, and that's the thing about this men's ass. Stenessa has called it. The men's association is that the men go there, like some of the men go there every single night.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Get a life.
Yeah.
Freaks.
Every night. So, like, her reaction to seeing Bobby, she calls Walter and is like, we're moving now. I'm going to go talk to the person that helped with this money. Yeah. And she figures out how much money that they could sell the house. And she figures out how much they can afford to. And she starts on that.
But he has all the checkbooks.
Which used to be kept in the house. But then
because
he has moved them to the office.
Unquote, they're with him in the office because he has been investing in some stock, which I'm like, what is that? That's something we never get resolution on that. Is he paying for whatever Stepford process is happening?
And his reaction is like, you're being unreasonable. You need to see a psychiatrist.
Yeah, classic male reaction. You're being hysterical.
Yeah. And so
it's like, my best friend is like now a housewife. And he's like, well, maybe she just wanted to look nice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Bobby, in a weekend? That's the thing. It's like, your excuses are weak. People don't change that quick.
Yeah. And her going to the psychiatrist, I found this scene was like so frustrating, but also like kind of funny. And that because this psychiatrist is not in Stepford because she's like, I refuse to.
Yeah, the deal is,
and he's like, fine.
If a psychiatrist says that it's okay, or that like she's okay not having a mental breakdown, they can move, which is bullshit. That's never gonna happen.
But the psychiatrist,
and then he says maybe you should put some lipstick on, which I'm like, maybe you should put some lipstick on. No.
Oh yeah, the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist does like classic like analyzing, like, oh, this is just you missing the city.
Well, because from like a normal person
from a normal perspective without the actual like confirmation.
Right, yes, absolutely. It's like you're just chafing against this role, and that's why you're seeing all these women. Right. Like absolutely. This is.
And so, like, it's like at first I want to be like mad at the psychiatrist because I'm like, that's not true. But I'm like, also,
she's not being hysterical.
After one meeting, that's all the psychiatrist's gonna do.
Right. But it's gross when Walter does it because he fucking knows what's going on. But when the psychiatrist, it's like, no, like absolutely, this is what a rational person would assume.
And then she's like, anyways, here's a bunch of pills.
Sedatives.
Yeah.
Or like tranquilizers. That's what they call them, tranquilizers. I was like, Oh, and they are willy-nilly. She takes one and drives. I'm like, no, there's no way. That bottle does not say, do not handle heavy machinery, which includes cars, everyone. It includes cars.
Yes. Yes. And then she goes to this is when she's like going to the library and going through reading all the old newspapers. God, yeah. So this is where we kind of like get the most confirmation we get until the end.
Right. So she finds all these things.
And this is at this point when I was reading this, and if you want to watch my reading vlog, it's on Patreon. Wow. At this point I was like, I wasn't sure if this whole time if it was brainwash or if it was robots. I was not sure at this point. But when she's reading the newspaper, we find out about the dude that used to work for Hall of Presidents, and I was like, oh, it's robots. 'Cause at first I thought it was just like them like doing some weird 70s sci-fi scanning.
I don't know that it is.
I mean, it's not confirmed.
Could it be a brain chip thing? Because there's people that work on microchips and like...
So like it's like a combination of
and then there's the medicinal smell.
Yes.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Is it like an android situation? Because like I'm assuming this is a weird sex thing for the guys. So, like...
Yeah. So I think without the Disney animatronic creator character in there, I think I would totally believe it's just brainwash / medical. But because we have the animatronic part, I think it's brainwash in the sense of not like the classic you're getting very sleepy, like not that kind of brainwash, but more of brain chip thing. Maybe not their whole body, but like to me that's still like I guess technically more of a cyborg. Whatever.
Yeah.
Who wants to
what
be
do we
exact?
look like, nerds?
So that's what I think this part kind of solidifies it to be more of a technological change.
Yes, I agree with
than
that.
A like
it's not like
woo chemical change.
Right. It's not a medicinal. Like they're not using chemicals, or maybe they are, but they're using it in conjunction with some sort of technology. Absolutely. Which is gross. Yes. Especially these days.
So she gets home from the library where she has made all these discoveries.
Yeah.
And she finds
it's
out,
very like damning. Like, like the men's association started and the 3 founding members, their wives immediately left the women's association. And then and the librarian, I love the librarian also, it's like make sure those go back so they're back in there, and like maybe this is me like reading into it, but it's like put those back away so no one knows you were looking at that, because me as a librarian does not know that this exists. Like, make sure they're in order.
Like she's like trying to play
and
dumb,
I can't,
and I'm like, is the librarian Stepford Wives, because she's the only lady.
This is okay. I cannot peg. The whole time I was like, I wrote a note. I was like, okay, but like, so obviously like middle-aged women, probably like late 20s to mid 40s.
Like their kids have to be in elementary school at least.
You're 100% Stepfordized.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
What about... Okay, yeah, I guess just like the implications. What about older women? Because there has to be older, right? Or is there just not? I don't know. We know one. There's one older lady that Bobby talks to who is like lonely and just like yaps her ear off. So we know that like there's older women around. Are they Stepfordized, or it's not worth it?
I don't think they are, because it's only been there for 7 years. Yeah. Right. So
and it's just those housewives.
Housewives, and
it's also not daughters.
It's not daughters.
It's like pointed out that the daughters are still messy, and like their babysitters are messy, and So, but will it be eventually?
Eventually, I think it has to do with the husband aspect. And I think that makes most sense in this world to these fucked up men, but also to like the like themes and plot, like the motifs, right, of the like this creepy world is like in the society, who needs the most control are the women at this age, because women between the ages of 20 and 40 are seen as the most, this is like a society like the most useful in society, right? Because the whole thing of like once you get old, no one like cares about you,
if
kind
you're
of
a
thing.
Woman,
If you're right. And and I think, and when you're younger
useful
than 20,
to society in like a very specific role.
Yes. And like when you're younger than 20, or younger than wife age, let's say that. Yeah. Younger than wife age, you're not useful to men, right? And if you're older than whatever this 40 plus, you've had the kids, you've got the marriage. Who cares what you do now? Yeah, you don't have a job because during those 20 years we stopped you from having that job, right? So I think this librarian.
Whoa, twice in a row. English major.
I'm not a speech major. This librarian, I think, has skated by unnoticed, and I like that little detail. And maybe it's not on purpose. Maybe it is a lady as the librarian.
Well, that was
It was very
the ladies had their jobs.
Yeah,
they were nurses and teachers.
Yes.
Even in the 70s.
Yes. But it's just like, I don't know. I think it's interesting how she's just like, put them back in order. It's like she knows, but she can't. But she also has no power in this world to change anything. But she still has the knowledge.
She has to like interact with the most probably with
the women.
These women.
Because
the kids are coming into the library.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she sees this pattern happening, unless she is also Stepford Wives. We are not clear on this, but
I like to think she's not. Just from the way she talks.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, and she seems to have like,
she seems interested into
grumpy.
Roxanne. Yeah. She's like really into Roxanne's story. She's like, we're going to have your book on our shelves.
Ruth Ann. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruth Ann. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she's kind of.
She's grumpy.
She's grumpy, and like none of the Stepford Wives are just like chronically pleasant. Yeah. So,
as soon as Joanne gets home, she finds out Walter has sent the kids to a friend's. Doesn't know what friend.
He won't tell her where they are, which is gross.
And Joanna understands that something's going to happen to her. She doesn't understand quite what it is.
One pattern she has picked up is that it's 4 months. For Charmaine, she moved there in like July or something, and she was changed in what is 4 months from July?
November?
October.
I don't know. 4 months after July.
Yeah. And so Bobby moved in, whatever, and she was changed in December.
Yeah.
And then and Joanna moved a month after Bobby.
Yeah.
And so she's like, my fucking time is coming. But she's a problem child, and we must always deal with problem children first.
Yep. Yes.
And that's what Walter says.
And she tells Walter that she knows what's gonna happen, like that they're trying to do something. She's like, I know what's going on, and he's like still like
You're
gaslighting.
Crazy. Yeah. What are you talking about? You're irrational.
Yeah.
Why are you so hysterical?
And she just like
she's tranked right now, guys. She's on this freaking medicine.
She's tranked, and she just decides to start running in the snow.
Yeah.
In the winter.
Yeah. Sketch. He basically is like, go upstairs and sleep.
Oh yeah.
And she goes in and she locks the door. And he's like, let me in. And she's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And she tries to go through the window, which I'm assuming is upstairs.
Yeah.
But there's like a lock on it, like a weather lock window. So she can only open it so far. But when she does that, she hears him calling somebody in the den, and she can hear him say like, oh, I think I'm going to need more people to control her or whatever. Yeah. So he's in the den, she sneaks out and goes downstairs, and he's taken her car keys from where she put them. He's taken her coat and her like boots or something. Yeah. So she's just like in what she has. She put a thick sweater on. She found gloves, and she's just like running. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so sad. This is why we need tree cover.
Yes. Yeah.
We need trees even in the suburbs.
Yeah. And so
housewives can hide from their weird husbands who are trying to make them into Stepford Wives.
And she gets chased by a bunch of the other husbands. Not her husband's not included in this mess, but in the group chasing her.
Yeah.
Definitely included in the rest of the mess. And she is followed around the suburbs, and she's just trying to escape, but she can't because has taken the medicine.
Yeah.
And
also it's just like
cold.
it's freezing. It's the middle of winter. She has like thin shoes. All she has is like a thick turtleneck sweater and thin gloves. And she's just trying to get to Ruth Ann's house.
Yep.
And get a cab into the city where she can eventually hopefully find wherever Pete and Kim are. Yeah.
And she doesn't quite make it, but she's like they surround her, and she's like, where's Bobby? Like, she's like, maybe this can be my out. And so they take her to Bobby.
Well, they want to take her to the men's. They're like,
they want to take her at Wilkins.
Well, yeah. You think we're robots? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Come to the men's association, and you can search it through
Warm
and through.
Up.
Yeah. And she's like, you're gonna have to kill me first, honey.
Or get me to Bobby, and Bobby and I can both go in.
No. Like, she's like, if I see somebody bleed, then I will believe that the Stepford Wives are not robots.
Yeah.
And so like, okay, well, who can we take you to that you'd believe? And she's like, Bobby's my friend.
Yeah.
She wouldn't lie to me.
Yeah.
So they take her to Bobby. And Bobby's like, of course, here's the chef's knife.
Yeah.
Girl, what? And her husband and son are Bobby's husband and son are upstairs playing loud rock music.
Yep.
And the men wait outside. And that is where Joanna's perspective stops. And the next time we see Joanna, it is from Ruth Ann's perspective in April or at the end of March. And Ruth Ann moved there in December. Stepfordizing happens 4 months after. So we're about to enter her like danger zone.
Yep.
And she sees Joanna at the grocery store. And Joanna's a Stepford wife.
Yep. And she talks about she's wearing red lipstick. And she talks about how she doesn't have time for photography anymore.
Oh, there's just no time. Yeah. I really wasn't that talented, which is like ostensibly false. She like literally made thousands of dollars on her photos.
Yeah.
How she's so much happier.
Here's the thing. Do we think that Ruth Ann is about to get Stepfordized?
Yes.
Is her husband part of the men's club? Did I miss that?
Yeah, he goes with them.
Okay, I missed that.
Yes.
Dang.
It's like so chilling. The end of the book is not Ruth Ann interacting with Joanna, but Ruth Ann interacting with her husband. And Ruth Ann's I'm going to go finish. Like, I don't know. I'm on a kick. I'm just going to go finish the book right now. This children's book, her second children's book that she has been working on, the first of which was super popular, sold a lot. And she's like, can you just, I don't want to cook dinner. Can you take the kids to McDonald's or the pizza place? And he's like, sure, no problem. Which is exactly like the way Walter approached things. Yeah. It's like, we didn't know Walter was the enemy until it came down to the wire, really, when Joanna was figuring it out.
Yes. Yeah.
Up until then, it was like, you know, at the beginning, it's like almost like, you know, I was like, no, he collects American legal documents. This guy sucks. but you know, he's presented as like, he's like, oh, I love the women's lib movement, but there's some shift that happens from hanging out with this, you know, it's insular thinking, right? It's this like, it's the reason Andrew Tate is popular among teenage boys, right? They are just, it's like a constant loop of information. They get no outside. It's like,
echo chamber of it.
Yeah, echo chamber. Exactly. You know, that's all you see. That's all you hear.
That's how the whole world is.
These other guys, their wives, you know, their wives cook them dinner every night. We never have to go to McDonald's. You know, it's like, yeah, that starts looking pretty nice until I wrote a note like, what's these fuckers aren't thinking about the alternatives. These like guys who are into women's lib, like, yeah, what happens in like 2 years when you're bored with your fucking wife who's Stepfordized? She has no personality. You didn't marry her because she was like an amazing photographer? That wasn't like that point of view wasn't a draw to you?
Yeah. It's like, how much are they getting brainwashed in the men's association? Like, maybe that chemical is not just like for the women to be, or maybe for the procedure. Maybe it's part of taking over the men too.
Yeah, or maybe it's just not even like sci-fi at all. Yeah, it's just psychology.
Like the only
maybe it's
part
just
of
the
this,
men like oh yeah, bro.
Yeah. Like, that's why I think this book is so good, because like the only like sci-fi part is the part like that we know that they have been changed somehow, but it's explicitly not said.
Yes.
We're theorized,
and I do know a bit about the movies, not to jump the gun to next week's episode.
Yes,
but yeah, the movies make a determination, and that is not popular.
I mean,
they decide what is actually happening.
I know the
with
cover
these
from the 70s movie is a broken head. Yeah, so it's like. Yeah.
I've seen like clips from the 2004 remake with Nicole Kidman, which is not a beloved movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So both movies they decide what's going on.
Yeah.
But we don't know here. And I think that is so smart.
Because this could happen in real life. I mean,
is currently trad wife. Look up trad wife.
Clean girls turn trad wife. Yeah. Pipeline.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like,
this is like a possibility.
And it's like, it's so
Hunger Games. No. What's the Handmaid's Tale. with Serena, who is the commander's wife. I'm speaking more show because we get a lot more of her in the show. But she is way more accomplished than her loser husband. But she, she's an author. She's like a popular speaker. But because of the role of subservience in their religious aspect, she is denigrated to the level of housewife.
That was one thing about this book I thought was so interesting, that there's no religion. And I think that's so, because
so that would be another organization.
Because so often, like, we think of, these like traditional, these like women's places in the house. We connect that with conservative, that the conservative mindset with religion, and that's because we are in America. But
sort of hand in hand.
I think
here,
it's so important that it's like, even if Christianity wasn't what Christianity currently is in the West, this shit would still happen.
Yes.
And it's like, it's also interesting because like I have like, this book, this episode's coming out after Mother's Day. I made a Mother's Day post about that's like books and movies pairings. I included this.
Did you put Night Bitch?
Yes, I did.
I had just
finished
finished Night Bitch, and I was like, wow, my brain is breaking from the back to back of these two books.
And it's like especially like now that I have like, so many of my close friends right now are new moms.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And it's like, it's so interesting. Like, each of them have, like, obviously, you'll never believe this, but every person is different.
Whoa.
And their experiences are nuanced. And like, even though like two of my best friends have moms, they each have kids under 2, and they both have wildly different lives, but they have so much of the similar struggles, but they have so much success within their motherhood and within their personhood. Without being a mother. And I think,
and there's nothing wrong with
being a housewife,
with wanting to be a stay-at-home mom, with wanting taking pride in like your that is not, I hope the point we have made here is not that.
No.
If that is what you love and you take really like great pride in that,
it
couldn't be me, but you should do it, because if that's what you want to do.
Yes.
That is not the case. That is not what is happening in this book.
And I think it's interesting.
Women who were accomplished in their own areas of their personhood.
Yes.
And they basically were forced by their husbands to be that housewife.
And I think
the ideal from the male gaze.
This is from the male. It's from a male author.
Satire in the form of a male gaze.
Yes,
it's very interesting.
And I think it's interesting because the other books that I have read that deal with this are written by women, like Night Bitch, like The Handmaid's Tale. And so this is the first time I've read a feminist book by a man who, from the male gaze, like, so it's so interesting to have a story like this and not have that like emotional part of motherhood into it. And I think, like, obviously, if we're focusing only on the book, it does ignore the folks that do love being a stay-at-home mom. And,
right. We just don't know who they are.
We just don't know,
because they're uniform.
They're uniform.
They are all. That's so funny that you just said like, oh, they're all different. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
And that is the point about this book, is that they do not like the differences. They want everybody to just be, not everybody. They want all the women to just be uniform.
Yeah.
Which is, you can be both. You can be a unique individual, an interesting person, and be a mother.
Yes. Yes.
My mom exists, and she is an individual. I'll just say that.
Yeah. And I just think it's so interesting that this book, written in the 70s during second wave feminism, but this book was written by a man, and I don't know, it's just like, it's so sad that that breaks my brain a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not that I'm saying that we need more books written by men, because that's not the stance I'm taking. And by white American men, that is not the stance I'm taking.
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting that like in the world of like dystopia horror, like stories about women, I think the majority, I think that it should be a majority by women, but I think this story is so interesting
where it fits.
And it fits in the puzzle of all the other books.
And it is a feminist book. Like,
absolutely,
I want to make that very clear.
Yes,
it's a satire on masculinity, basically, and how men view housewife, the housewife, and especially I'm assuming at the time,
and especially like,
but it's still I was like, damn, this is so relevant now, and it is literally, what is that? It's 50 years. Yeah, it's over 50 years after this book was published.
It's interesting too, because like the way the women are described doing their house chores, it's not how house chores are actually done, but that is how the men in Stepford believe that it's done. And also in my head, I'm like, this is how you believed it? It was done? Like, have you ever waxed the floor?
Right. I mean, but it's just like, it's like, it's like, oh, well, of course that's a thing. And it's like, they're always like, how much can you wax a floor? I feel like, but they're like, when they grocery shop, right, exactly. When they grocery shop, they like organize their cart. They organize the stuff in the cart. It's very like, what? Yeah. I know some housewives or like some stay-at-home moms. Yeah. And they ain't doing that. Uh-huh. Yeah, or it's just like, oh, well, every woman should like be made up and have their hair and like have big boobs and they have no tummy. It's like, okay, well, they all have children though. Yeah, like, yeah, and a uterus.
Lord, yeah. I don't know. I really like this book. I'm really excited to watch the movies. It's gonna be a time. I don't have that many fun facts about Mr. Levin, besides the fact that he had written a lot of other books that were turned into movies, including Rosemary's Baby, Kiss Me Before Dying, and The Boys from Brazil. He has gone on record saying that he's like, has this like quote in this interview, I'm gonna misquote it, but he after Rosemary's Baby became a movie that kind of like sparked like a bunch of Satan or satanic related horror movies. And so like in the early 2000s, he's like, I don't believe in Satan. And I think
he's an atheist.
He's an atheist. Yeah. And he's just like, I kind of apologize for sparking this whole movement in films via my book, but also I'm not taking away that royalty check. I will accept the royalty check. And I was like,
I mean, I've never watched Rosemary's Baby, but I think it's like, he's a very satirical author. Yeah. So it's a satire on how people view Christianity and how like they ascribe all these traits onto, people who could not possibly.
Yeah. I just saw his little thing being like, I kind of wish that didn't happen, but also I'll take the money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, same.
Mia Farrow.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. But yeah, so that was some of my not really fun facts, but there's only so much for the book.
Yeah, that was is it worse than the author of what's her face? Charlene Harris. No, she used to do karate. Unbelievable.
Hey, the research machine was tired. Yeah, this book was so good. I don't think I would like to reread it. I think I am interested in.
I don't know that I need to. I think I will remember all of this book for ever and ever. Or the big themes. Like,
I do. I am interested in reading his other stuff.
I want to read The Boys. What is it? The Boys from Brazil. Yeah. That sounded really interesting. Mm-hmm. Did you read the intro? We have the same copy.
We have the same copy. Yeah. Shout out to our library.
Hell yeah.
The intro, did I read the intro?
So The Boys from Brazil.
I did not read the intro.
Okay, but do you know the premise of The Boys from Brazil? Basically, like escaped Nazi scientists clone Hitler, and they raise them to see if they can get another Hitler. That's the premise. I have not read it. I am dying to.
Okay.
So...
future episode.
It's a movie. Mm-hmm. So I love hopefully a book that takes down Nazis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No less thoughts. You should definitely read this book. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was awesome. And it's so quick. Not as quick as you think a 123-page book would be, but it still only took me like 2 days probably to really sit down and read it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah. Down with men. Sorry, Isaac. He knows how I feel.
Yeah. I did tell him. I gave him a little warning. I was like, "This book is very anti-men." So, and he's like, "I'll go play Magic."
Yeah, I guess that's one final thought I have is like, it's so. This is not directed at Isaac. It's just I was thinking about like men in general. Like even the most like men that I know are like super supportive and always, they still have these like tendencies because of the society, like mansplaining. Like, yeah, maybe we know somebody who's a big mansplainer. Or like, you know, like, yeah, not taking women's accomplishments seriously. And this is not all men,
no,
and not like you all the time, but it's just even these like little,
it's like how they have a predisposition.
Yes,
due to
exactly.
society.
They just like have always gotten away with it. And yeah, it takes a lot of work to kind of
rewire.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah,
I think the robots.
I think it's brain chips, bruh. It's a sex thing. They got to be able to have a JJs for the sex things.
Anyways, thank you for listening, and make sure to follow us on Instagram at Read the Book First Podcast. Rate us 5
first time.
Yes,
look at
you.
that.
Rate us 5 stars. If it's not 5 stars, don't worry about it.
Yep. Keep your mouth shut.
Now has comments on podcasts.
What?
If you want to leave if you're listening to this right now, 1, thank you. 2, leave a happy comment. Because I don't know if I can handle other comments.
Yeah, keep your mouth shut if you want to leave an angry comment.
Yes, or you have to follow me on Instagram and tell me on Instagram, because that's easy. I can control that better than Spotify. I don't know how to.
Blocked.
Anyways, also join our Patreon. Link below.
Yeah.
And remember, read the book first.
This book is awesome.